Good evening, one and all, and welcome to WNBF Extra Point. Appreciate you letting me kick it with you on this Friday night. Of course, I'm your host, Gabe McDonald. Welcome to the month of October. For the rest of our half hour, we're taking you all across the Grand Strand and PD for highlights and scores for all of our local teams. It's week 6, which means region play is heating up with the playoffs drawing closer and closer. A game with huge implications taking place up in Florence. Myrtle Beach and West Florence going head-to-head in a top 10 showdown. And let's head up to the west side of Flowtown. The Myrtle Beach Seahawks traveling to the PD to face off against those Knights. That student section is rocking. We started in the second half. Seahawks up 14-7. West Florence looked like they were punting, but Franklin Emerson takes a step and throws it to Quantrell Pickens for a huge conversion for the home team to keep that drive alive. The Knights would eventually give the ball back to Myrtle Beach. However, the Seahawks with a chance to take a 2-score lead, but the field goal goes wide left, and that gives the Knights a little bit of hope. And here they come with that ball. West Florence's final drive lasted nearly the entire fourth quarter. That's 12 minutes, folks. The Knights quarterback Deuce Hudson found Avion McBride right here for 25 yards over the middle, and that would pick up a huge first down on the first third down conversion of the game, for the home team. And once again, third and long for the Knights. The snap gets deflected to Hudson, who lays one up for receiver Steven Smalls, and that would give the home team another huge first down. Guys, they are trying to do whatever they can to get that win over Myrtle Beach. Less than 2 minutes to go. Hudson finds his running back, Terry McKinnon, on fourth down, and that would keep the drive alive. Man, those Knights, they are not going down without a fight right here. Just check out this effort, man. Just doing everything you can. McKinnon eventually gets the rock, and they would get the first down right there. Then fourth and short with just 10 seconds to go. Here comes Hudson right here trying to take matters into his own hands to will his team to victory. But guys, that Myrtle Beach defense looking like the Baltimore Ravens out there. They get the incredible stop right there, and that would be your ball game. Myrtle Beach with a crucial region win. They improved to 2-0 in Region 6 by a final of 14-7. Now we head to Class 5A. Conway St. James. The Tigers looking to play spoiler to the Sharks' homecoming plans. First offensive drive of the game. St. James quarterback Joey McMenamin finds Ben Sant open in the middle of the field, and that would be a nice gain for the home team, and that would set up a field goal from just inside the 20-yard line, and the Sharks would open up the scoring this evening. Then we fast forward just a few minutes later. It's the Sharks back on offense, and McMenamin again with a deep shot right here to his main man, Justice Williams, and that would be a first down. They couldn't punch it inside the red zone, but Daniel Deneen would tack on another field goal, and that would put the home team up 6-0 to end the first quarter of play. Now we fast forward late to the first half. A Conway pass is tipped right into the hands. Here comes Eddie McMenamin, the twin brother of the quarterback. Johnny on the spot with the pick, and 45 yards later, you can give that man a touchdown. The Sharks would end the half up 12-0. This would end up being a close game at the end, with Conway putting up 13 in the second half, but those Sharks would hold on to get it done. 15-13 would be your final. Also in Class 5A, Sauk State traveled to the Midlands to take on Region foe Sumter, and it wouldn't end the way they were hoping. The Braves are still in search of win number 1 of 2021. They would fall this evening by a final of 23-10. And now we head back to Class 4A. North Myrtle Beach back at home playing host to those Wilson Tigers. That Chiefs defense, man, they were looking strong to start this one. TJ Cox on the blitz, and he ends up with the nice sack lunch. The home team forcing a punt on the opening drive, and that would put the offense in position to strike, and they do just that. Cam Freeman with a dart across the middle to Trace Hall for the score. The Chiefs go up 7 less than 3 minutes into the game. After another punt, the home team back on 0 facing 4th and goal, and this time it's Freeman using his legs to get into the end zone. North Myrtle Beach with a 2-touchdown lead after the first quarter. We move to the second. Freeman with a little pump fake right here, heaves one up to the end zone, and check out Chris Webb with a diving grab. He's able to hold on to the rock for the score. North Myrtle putting on an offensive clinic to start this one, guys. That made it 21-0 early in the second quarter. A couple drives later, that Chiefs defense comes up huge once again. Tate Presley escapes the pocket, but he's brought down by Tyler Johnson, the first-year starter at defensive end. The senior able to pounce on the rock and recover the fumble as well, and he is pumped, guys, and that would set up this. Tavarius Hooks rumbles in from a few yards out, 134 yards, and that touchdown for him this evening, 28-0 North Myrtle Beach. And how about some serve for the big fellas? Always need that for the pancakes they're serving up. The Chiefs led by 31 at the break, and they would cruise in this one. 41-31 your final. 41-7 rather your final. North Myrtle Beach gets its first region win of the season. The South Florence Bruins travel down the road tonight to take on those Darlington Falcons. The Bruins would score early and often in this one. South Florence quarterback Quincy Rhodes filling in for the Virginia commit Lenore Seller. He pulls down a bad snap, takes the ball in for an easy score, and that would put the Bruins up 7-0. Look at him barreling over the defenders right there. Look at that, man. They led 7-0 after that touchdown. One time on the Bruins' next drive, here comes Rhodes finding his receiver, Jabrae Johnson, wide open in the end zone. 30 yards later, he finds himself 6. The Bruins with a 14-0 lead. Now we fast forward midway through the first quarter. The Bruins would block a punt, and that would set up another quick score right here. That's special teams. You always need that to win championships, and they provided a winning edge tonight, and that would set up the offense rather nicely. Here comes a big man touchdown alert. Rhodes finds his main man, Rodney Lassane, the tight end, on a jump pass right here. Looking like Tim Tebow out there. I see you. That's a touchdown for South Florence. They go up 20-0. And then we fast forward later in the first quarter, the waning seconds of the quarter rather. South Florence return man Evan Singletary would cut across the field. And he would take a punt 60 yards for a touchdown. That special teams unit coming up big. Once again, the Bruins would lead 27-0 at the end of the first quarter, and there would be no doubt in this one. The Bruins roll this evening. They are also 2-0 in region play. 76-0 would be your final up in Darlington. All right, the big schools are in the books, but we aren't done just yet. We'll run through Class 3A on down after a quick timeout. But first, we head the ladder for this week's Beach Tim Gymnastics Cheer of the Week. Alrighty, welcome back to Extra Point. We're going to kick off our second block in the Skeezer ranks with a huge matchup. Two 5-0 teams that are two of the best in the state in that division. We have the 5-0 Hammond Skyhawks coming up to Darlington County to face the 5-0 Trinity Collegiate Titans. Let's get to those highlights right quick. Let's head over to TCS. The Titans looking to remain unbeaten in 2021. We picked this one up just before the half. Still scoreless. Titans trying to break the tie, but Hammond comes up with the INT, and we would go into the locker room with a 0-0 ball game. After an unsuccessful third down attempt, here comes Trinity forcing the punt right here. And look out, folks. Whit Muschamp, that last name might sound familiar, the son of Will Muschamp. He corrals the rock off one bounce, and he is off to the races. He rumbles up the far sideline, and nobody is going to catch him. The Skyhawks strike first, thanks to special teams. That would put them up 7-0. Now we head to the fourth quarter. Same score. Muschamp once again looking for some running room right here. He would escape the pocket to keep the drive alive, and that would be a key first down for those Skyhawks. And then a few plays later, the visitors would cash in once again. Muschamp hands it off to Caper Stokes III, and he does the rest. The senior is able to find the end zone right here. Hammond would increase its lead to 14-0 over Trinity, and that would be all the Skyhawks needed. Hammond hands the Titans their first loss of the season, 14-0, your final. I'm sure we'll see these two later in the postseason. We stay in Darlington County and head out to Lamar, two of the PD's best going at it as the Silver Foxes host Dillon. Wildcats get that offense going early and often. Jack Grider drops back and hits his main man Nemo Squire in the flats, and the East Carolina commit knows what to do with that rock. He finds the end zone, and that would put Dillon up 7 early over those Silver Foxes. That Dillon defense also looking strong tonight. Here comes Anthony Grant right here from his D-line position, picking up that TFL, and that would force a Lamar punt, and that Dillon offense would get back to work midway through the first. This time it's Squire taking the handoff, going straight up the gut. He's met by some defenders at the goal line, but he straight up muscles his way into the end zone. Dillon now up 14-0 over the home team. Later in the half, the Cats now going back to the air. Here comes Grider hitting Donez Alford right here with a dime on the corner route. He scoots up that sideline and finds pay dirt. Dillon in full control now, up 21-0. They would keep their foot on the pedal and not look back. They improved to 3-0 in the season with a 47-8 win over Lamar. We head back to Florence County for a Region 6 showdown. Lake City playing host to Marlboro County. Those dogs on top when our cameras make it there, and they add to their lead in the third. Tamon Bird keeping it himself on second and goal. He plows his way in for the score, and that would give Marlboro County a 19-8 advantage early in the second half. Then we see a lot of defense. A host of dogs right here swarming to the rock to stop Lake City in its tracks. And then the Panthers, they would show their might on defense as well in the ensuing drive. A couple of solid stops here by the home team would give them a little bit of momentum, but this one just went fine a little bit ago. Play would be stopped after an injury to a Marlboro County player. But once the action picked back up, Lake City was able to find the end zone, but it would be too little, too late. Bobby Collins and his dogs able to go on the road and pick up a crucial region victory as they end up getting it done. 19-14 would be your final over Lake City. Now let's take it to the home of the Warriors. Waccamaw playing host to region foe Aner. This one got out of hand in a hurry. First possession for those Blue Jackets. Here comes the big fella, Ahmad Gerald, taking the direct snap, keeps those legs churning, and he takes it in for the 6. Aner with the early 7-0 lead over Waccamaw. The Warriors will try to answer back, but some miscommunication right here will lead to a fumble, and after it's all said and done, those Blue Jackets would pounce on the rock and get back in business, and they waste no time making Waccamaw pay for that mistake. A few plays later, Daniel Stanley turns on the Jets, looking like a running back, and he takes it all the way for 6. After the successful PAT, Aner would be on top 14-0, and things would go from bad to worse for those Warriors. After going 3 and out, they look to punt, but the ball goes over the punter's head. He would end up getting rid of it before hitting the ground, but it would give Aner excellent field position, and they would cash in once again. Here comes Gerald. His second score of the first quarter would put Waccamaw up 21-0. The Warriors Aner up 21-0. The Warriors would make it interesting, but in the second, but Aner would be too much. They improved to 3-1 with a 54-34 victory. And the other Class 3A game tonight taking place down in the Paper City between two Region 7 foes. Georgetown trying to get its first win of the season, but those Bulldogs will have to wait another week. Loris is able to go on the road and get a big-time region dub, 28-3, your final. We had a Class 2A, Latta playing host to Marion tonight in a crucial Region 7 matchup. Latta gets on the board first thanks to that running game. Jamar Jones darts to the outside and takes it in for the touchdown to put the Vikings up 7-0 over those Swamp Foxes. Now we move to the second quarter. Marion looking to respond as Gabriel Cusack completes the pass to Jameek Nelson on 3rd and long, and that would put Marion within striking distance, and the Swamp Foxes, they would be able to cap off the drive with 6. Here comes Cusack, connecting again with his main man, Nelson. So nice he had to do it twice. Puts on a nice spin move to make a few defenders miss on his way to the end zone, and that would cut the deficit to just 1 point. Marion quickly finds himself in scoring distance once again near the end of the first half, but the Viking defense stands strong with Michael McKenzie recovering the loose ball from Cusack. And as you see there, this would be a low-scoring game, but those Swamp Foxes would come out on top. They get it done, 12-7. Meanwhile, Lee Central takes down Andrews by a final of 34-14 in Class 2A action. Now we move to the Class 1A ranked top 10 showdown at HP between those Raiders and Lakeview. Home team coming out the gate swinging. Xander Poston hits Cyrus Ellison on the quick screen, and here he comes right into your living room right there. Hannah Pampico with the early 6-0 lead over the Wild Gators. But Lakeview, they would get to chomping. Derek Bethea on the play fake, and he just takes matters into his own hands. The senior finds a seam right here on the inverted veer, and he would get himself a score. That would tie the game up at 6 points apiece. Later in the quarter, this time, it's Bethea doing damage with his arm. Beautiful ball on the go route right here, right into the breadbasket of his main man, Trey Page, and he would rumble in all the way to the end zone, dragging the defender with him, but he's able to get in there. Lakeview with its first score of the game, the first lead of the game, as they go up 12-6. The Raiders trying to find some life after giving up that score, and they do just that. HP in the red zone, and Poston drops an absolute dime to Josh McNeil, who makes the grab in the corner of the end zone. That touchdown would tie the game back up at 12, and that there would provide quite a spark for the Raiders. They go on to get it done by a final of 38-32. Another game we kept a close eye on is at Green Sea Floyd's. The Trojans able to get a huge region win as they are now 3-1 in the season. 32-20 would be your final over Johnsonville. And I never hate to leave you guys, but I will leave y'all with one parting gift before we wrap up. Y'all know what time it is. It's time to reveal our extra point play of the week for week 6. Back to the Shark Tank we go for that thriller in Class 5A. This defensive play gave St. James the spark they needed. Eddie McMenamin off the tip, and he's heading back the other way. That 45-yard pick six gave the Sharks a 12-0 advantage at the break. And even though the Tigers would roar back in the second half, St. James, of course, was able to come out on top as they are now 4-1. Great job by Tommy Norwood and company so far this season. And that's the team everyone should be looking out for in Region 6 5A. And guys, we have come to the end of the night. That is all the time we have for Extra Point, but don't fret, I'll see y'all right back here in 7 days. As always, you can find all of the highlights and scores from tonight on our website and mobile app. And of course, tomorrow, a huge one at Coastal as the Chance Open Sunbelt play against those ULM Warhawks. For all of us here at WNBF News, I'm Gabe McDonald. Enjoy your weekend, and I'll see y'all right back here next Friday.